I am very, very curious to dig in a little bit about your ideas with happiness. Your book's really intriguing. And so a little bit about me. For years, I worked as a licensed psychotherapist here in the United States. I specialized in severe traumas and in attachment theory as well. And I worked with so many people who were agonizingly depressed, and a lot of men especially. So one of my specialties now as a male coach is to help men who are very unhappy and have never really felt happiness in their life. I would love to hear from you. And if you could share with our audience a bit, if they're sitting here saying, how could someone say happiness is a birthright? I've never experienced it. I don't know what it's like. Could you share with us a bit, please, for them, someone who's just walking in the door, about what your formula is for happiness? What's your approach to happiness?
Yeah, I mean, it is an alien concept, but I mean, look at any child you've ever seen. Huh? If you look at any child, any infant, if they're fed safe, given their basic needs for survival, if nobody's shouting in their ears, if the room is not too cold or too hot, and they're fed and everything's fine, they will lay on their back and play with their toes and giggle. That's the actual default state of humanity. Right? You know, when you look at children, if the diaper gets wet, or the child gets hungry, the child will cry. But they will cry because there is a reason to be unhappy. And once you change the diaper, the child goes back to happiness. This actually, you know, you don't need science. You need 4 minutes on YouTube watching kids' videos to understand that. It's very straightforward. And even you, by the way, the child within you, you know, next Sunday, if it's sunny outside and your boss didn't say something annoying and your partner didn't say something stupid and there is no reason to be grumpy, you will wake up on Sunday and feel amazing. Right? You will wake up on Sunday and feel amazing, even though that promotion you were thinking about on Friday that you didn't get is still a true statement. You still didn't get the promotion, but without a reason for your unhappiness in this moment in time, our default state as humans is happy. And this is highly skewed by the advertising industry. Because the advertising industry is constantly trying to tell you that there are things you need to acquire to find happiness, that you need to get something from outside you to be able to find that elusive feeling that's called happy, right? And you know, that something could be a Coke, or it could be the latest iPhone, and somehow we believe that. We believe that those things will give us happiness, that a tall partner or a handsome, partner or whatever is going to make us happy. That doesn't work. Right. The reality of the matter is that when you get those things in your life, I mean, ask yourself, Sarah will probably tell you how often that partner is the reason for your unhappiness, right? And you think that they're going to come in and make your life better. Reality is nothing comes from outside you and makes you happy or unhappy. Happiness comes from within you in the case of absence of unhappiness. Now, if you understand this, you suddenly realize that we're dealing with it the wrong way. There is really nothing you can do to remove, to instill happiness in you. There are things you can do to remove unhappiness. And when I understood this, again, as a software engineer at the time, any normal human being would say, okay, let me prepare a list of 10 things that make me unhappy and remove them from my life, and I'll go back to happiness, right? Yeah. Which I think is a very wise thing for anyone to do, to be honest. But my engineering mind said, oh, there must be an algorithm that I can code into a computer that will predict for me every moment in my life where I will ever feel unhappy. So I can remove that from now and just, put that problem to the side and live a happy life forever. And crazy as it sounds, believe it or not, it turns out there is an algorithm, that there is something you can code in a computer and input a couple of values. My original analysis was 19 values, but to simplify it for my book, enter a couple of values and find out if you're going to be happy or unhappy. And the driver, the foundation behind that algorithm is very straightforward. Nothing in your life has ever made you consistently happy or unhappy. Nothing in your life has ever made everyone happy or unhappy. Okay, so remember when they locked us down in COVID-19? For some people, they were the happiest people ever not to go to work, and for others, they were unhappy not to go to work and work from home. For the same people, they were happy 1 week about not having to go to work and unhappy the other week, right? And that basically tells you that going to work or not is actually doesn't have any inherent happiness value in it at all. Okay, that there must be another parameter in play. Most of us will say we're unhappy because life is unfair to me. Yeah, there are so many people in the world. If you've ever been to Africa or to Latin America or to Asia, that are living a much worse life than you. That life is so much more unfair to them, and yet they are happy. Okay, and then you question, so what is the other parameter at play? The other parameter at play is a parameter that's highly skewed in the advanced world, which is your expectation, what you expect life to be. Right? When you go to Africa or to India and give someone a bowl of rice, just a bowl of rice, because their expectation is I might not eat for 3 days, one bowl of rice lights up their world. Right? When we were locked down and you click twice on your phone and get sushi delivered to your home, you go like, nah, but I want to be outside with my friends eating the sushi, right? Your expectation is the problem. Okay? It's not the quality of the meal. It's the expectation that I have rights that have been granted to me by life, as if it's a service level agreement with a telco, that are not being met. Right? And when you simplify it that way, you realize that your happiness is equal to or greater than the difference between the events of your life and your hopes and expectations of how life should be. That second part, okay, plays a very big role in happiness. You go to Scandinavia, which has the highest subjective well-being in the planet. So the government provides everything: healthcare, pensions. If you're unhappy, they send you to Spain to sit in the sun on the government expenses. They solve everything for you, and yet you have some of the highest suicide rates in the world. Why? Because when you get so much in life, your expectations continue to increase to be higher than what you get. And when that is the case, your happiness becomes a choice.